Hello everybody, welcome to Made Simple and Comprehensive. Today we are going to look at the ENN1504 second assignment semester 2 2022, which is the investigative report. This is quite a simple one, but I know that an assignment is not comprehensible until the last minute. So yeah, let's do this. Team last minute. Whatever you guys say in your language. Question 1, investigative report. The purpose of this question is to establish whether you know how to write an investigative report. This requires you to do the necessary preparatory reading so that you can answer the question adequately. Work through Unit 3 in the study guide and learning Unit 3 in the workbook before attempting to answer this question. Background. Your local community hall was recently damaged by torrential storms. This meant that planned community activities such as weddings and youth arts programs were negatively affected. At a community meeting on 12 July 2021, which is supposed to be 2022, the counselor, Dr. Dunge, asked you as the chairperson of the Sports, Arts and Recreation portfolio to conduct an investigation into the feasibility of repairing the damages and renovating the community hall in the shortest time and least expense. Instructions. Write an investigative report into the feasibility of repairing the community hall. You were given 1 month to conduct the investigation and submit the report to the counselor. Your report should be about 2 to 3 pages in length. Use the following headings and subheadings. Title, terms of reference, 2 procedures, 4 to 5 procedures. Those are the number of procedures that you need to provide. There must be 4 or 5. Findings, conclusions, recommendations, and then lastly you include the compiler's details and the date of submission, which is supposed to be you, because you are the one who will be compiling the report as the chairperson. Yeah, you're going to read the guidelines on your own time. Yeah. You can look on Unit 3 of your workbook and your study guide. The workbook and the study guide are not the same thing. So you need to use them together. Do not confuse the two and think that it's one book. No, it's not. You need to give yourself time to look at both books. More especially for exam purposes. You need it. So I thought that maybe to simplify this whole thing, we are going to use the PowerPoint representation slides that were created by the lecturers. They were using it for during the classes, but I do not have the current one. I have an old one. I don't know when I got this, but yeah, it's an old one. So I am also going to be using a previous tutorial letter 201. I can say a memorandum of a previous report, so that we look at the guidelines, the format and everything, so that we know what is expected from us to do. Yeah, fair enough. Let's do this. Now, look at the keywords. Let's look at the keywords here. The most important thing that you need to take note of here from your background, it's what is it that needs to be done. Okay, actually no, what is it that what is the main object here? what is it that we are looking into? It is the community hall that was damaged. Ne? Yeah. What am I doing? Yo, South Africa, man. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with it. Oh! This document doesn't allow me to edit it. Okay, it's fine. Then the second one is going to be the dates. When were you summoned to do this thing, and by whom, and when? As the writer, who are you? You are the chairperson of what? What is your occupation? Your occupation is the chairperson of the Sports, Arts and Recreation. Then let's look at the instructions now. The first part that I want is I want the first part of this. What is this investigation about? Instructions: write an investigative report into the feasibility of repairing the community hall. You are given 1 month to conduct the investigation and submit the report to the council. Okay, fine. This is supposed to be the title of your report, of your investigative report. All right. Let's this is the PowerPoint presentation. It says here title. On the title, you are supposed to write the essence of the report. Why are you conducting this report? What and where? Fine. Let's go to the feedback of that, or of the previous memo. Okay, here they are giving feedback to the assignment. They are telling us what was expected from us and what we did wrong and those kind of things. So but I am just using this so that we know how to actually so that we know what was expected from us. All right, it says here the title. The title must capture all the important aspects of the topic or the project. Note that one conducts a report on an investigation into or of something. The company's name was often omitted. Okay, it means that they're trying to tell us that we need to make sure that we include the company's name. So this is a feedback on the previous assignment. They're telling us that most students omitted the company's name. All right, let's go to our PowerPoint again. Oh, what am I doing now? Okay, let's look at the example. This example says, this is the example of a title, né? A report and an investigation into, okay, what am I supposed to do now? I don't know what to do. Right, I just want you to see everything on the screen. A report on an investigation into potential projects towards educational advancement at Fazeni local municipality. All right, this is an example. We are gathering information. We want to get a clear vision of what is really expected from us. Then we go back to the memo once again. Where's that memo? Okay. Oh, I can go. Look at this. This is the possible answer, ne? Okay, I'm glad that we can edit this one. Where is that? Okay. Report on the health and safety risk of employees at Radical Solutions. So when you need to go back to your instructions and ask yourself, what are you writing about? You are supposed to write an investigative report into the feasibility of repairing the community hall. Then you're going to simply say a report on an investigation into the feasibility of repairing the community hall, or something like that. Fine. That's the title. Then you need to come here and state number 1. You cannot write without writing that number 1 of terms and reference. Let's look at what are the terms and reference now. Terms of reference. Number 1. Terms of reference. Background information. Who commissioned whom? Name and designation. Where and when. Purpose of the report. Submission date. Note: we use fictitious, made up companies and scenarios so as to contextualize questions. Let's go back to our memo. Terms of reference. Essential, specific details such. Yes. Okay, I'll start afresh because I pronounced that details wrongly. Let me just fix it. Terms of reference. Essential, specific details such as names and positions of persons who commissioned the report and whom compiled the report, as well as dates, were frequently omitted. We don't want that one. We're looking at the other part. Okay, sharp. Let's go back to our questions. This is where you're supposed to find all the necessary information. You're going to start making up your own information on the other what? I don't know. On the other I'm going to call them headings. Yeah, on the other headings like procedures, findings, recommendations, conclusions, and everything. But here you need to make sure that you take all the relevant information that was provided to you by the lecturers. Let's go back to our question paper. Okay. Read again. You need to read again. I don't want to do this so fast so that you don't understand, or you don't know how to do your own investigative report during the exam time, because I don't think that I'm going to do this for the exam. So now you need to listen very attentively, and I must do my part very, very accurately. All right. This is where we're going to start looking at the relevant information that is required today by the terms of reference. At a community meeting on 12th July, these are the dates. The counselor, Dr. Dung, this is the person who commissioned you. Do you understand? He is a counselor, and his name is Dr. Dung. Do you understand? Asked you as the chairperson. You are the one who is being commissioned. You are the one who is being tasked. Where now yourself. And your occupation is chairperson. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? You're not a student here. You're a chairperson. Yes. Of the sports, arts and recreation portfolio to conduct an investigation into the feasibility of repairing damages and renovating the community hall in the shortest time and least expense. I don't know, maybe I'm mixing up information. Maybe you can use this as your title. I don't know, but I chose to use this title. The title here. Not this title which says investigation into the feasibility of repairing damages and renovating community hall in the shortest time. And no, I did not choose that one. You can use it if you think or if you feel that this is the accurate one, because I'm not a lecturer, I'm a student, and I do not have the memo for this. I'm just using my mind. So you write what you feel is fine. Okay. So now you have all the necessary information. This is another information that you need to include there by the terms of reference. You were given 1 month to conduct the investigation. From, is it 12th July? Let me see. From the 12th of July to 12th August. That is the following month. That makes it 1 month period. Am I correct? Then who are you going to submit the report to? To Dr. Dunge, the counselor. Am I correct? Yes. Then, what I was supposed to look at now? At the example here. Okay, the one that we have on the on the PowerPoint presentation, it's quite I don't know. It's kind of complicated, but when I read it, you're going to see that it's not actually complicated in that manner. But then it's so, yeah. Okay, on 10 September 2020, Dr. L. Yandu, the Director of Educational Advancement Programs within the Fazane local government, requested Miss M. Rags, Assistant Financial Manager, Educational Advancement Programs, to investigate projects which might be pursued for spending 20 million rand of the 2019 surplus. The potential projects had to be concluded within 6 months. The full report, including recommendation, was due on 30th September 2020. Okay, sharp. Let's go back to our meme and see how they provided their example there. Number 1. Can you see that number 1? It's very important, you guys. Number 1, terms of reference. On 2 February 2018, the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Mr. B. Batlane, commissioned the Human Resource Manager, Ms. R. Pearson, to investigate the health and safety risks that the employees experience at Radical Solutions. A comprehensive report, including recommendations, was to be submitted to the CEO by 31 April 2018. Okay. Now, let's go back to our own. On 12 July 2021 or 2022, whatever that you feel like, it doesn't matter, Dr. Dunge, the Counselor of Sports, Arts and Recreation, requested Ms. Daniels. You are Ms. Daniels. Ms. Daniels is you, the Chairperson of Sports, Arts and Recreation, to conduct an investigation into the feasibility of repairing damages and renovating the community hall in the shortest time and least expense. The full report, including recommendations, was to be submitted to the Councillor on 12 August 2022. Do you understand? Hey? If you don't understand, I don't know, because the assignment is due in a few hours. Alright. Now, we're going to go back to our question paper to check the procedures. No. Procedures. There are too few responses, clearly defined procedures. No. Let me start with the PowerPoint. Procedures. Number 2. Procedures. Yeah. They must be in past tense, passive voice, various actions taken, reasons for actions taken, number accordingly. Then they say, now read your procedures. Did you use the past tense? Are there action words? Are the actions explained and linked to the purpose of the report? Are the procedures numbered accordingly? Let's go there on our previous memo. Okay, there were too few responses, clearly defined procedures, specific details regarding when, how, and why each procedure was undertaken to collect the relevant information to ensure that the investigation covered key aspects of the investigation are important. The procedures should aim at investigating different types of health and safety risks experienced at radical solutions. Merely listing procedures is inadequate. A minimum of 3 procedures was expected. The purpose of each procedure should also be included and relate to the reasons given in the question. Remember that on our question paper, we are required to write 4 or 5 procedures, not this minimum of 3. Ne? This one is an old memo, so don't mind that one. Okay, fine. Let's go to the example. All right. Number 2, procedures. 2.1. Make sure that you number these things accurately, you guys. Ne? Interview. An interview was held with Mr. Dean Tuli, the risk management officer, to discuss health, safety, policies, and challenges in implementation. This information was not given to you in the set of facts or on the background information that you were given in the question paper. Ne? This is the kind of information that you need to come up with on your own. This is the kind of information that you need to make. You just make this whole thing in your head and make it a reality and make it understandable or comprehensible to the person who is going to be marking your paper. Ne? An interview was held with Mr. Dean Tuli, the risk management officer, to discuss health and safety policies and challenges in implementation. Okay, you need to make sure that, okay, this thing is in past tense, ne? And we have action words here. And then again, you make sure that you do not simply write what the procedure. You must also explain how that procedure occurred. How did this occur? The interview was held with Mr. Ntuli to discuss health and safety policies and challenges in implementation. You just make up that kind of thing, you see. Then you come to 2.2, which says questionnaires. Questionnaires were distributed to all employees to establish their concerns regarding their health and safety in the workplace. On-site 2.3, on-site inspection. Or this can be an on-site inspection or an observation. Use either word, it's still fine. Random on-site visits of the factory were done during the 19th and the 27th February 2017 to identify possible safety hazards during working hours. All right, 2.4, audits. Task teams were delegated to scrutinize the following records: July 2017 to January 2018, to verify concerns raised by staff and management regarding health and safety risk at Radical Solutions. (2.4.1) Incident reports. 2.4.2 Staff attendance and resignation records of human resource management. Ne. Okay, let's go to our PowerPoint and check out that example there. Number 2, procedures. Do not forget that numbering, you guys, is very, very important. 2.1. The head of special educational programs, Mr. Ntokozolanga. Guys, reading this whole thing. Let me read. Okay, let me piece of this thing. I'm sorry, I just want you to see, guys. Okay. 2.1. The head of special educational programs, Mr. Ntokozolanga, was consulted to provide a brief report on the projects that had been completed in the previous year and to determine if there had been projects that could not be completed due to lack of funds. 2.2. Discussions were held with the branch leadership of the teachers' unions to establish if the teachers had any special requests for capacity building interventions. 2.3. A meeting was held with school governing bodies of the surrounding schools to garner their views on how the funds could be dispersed. 2.4. Survey questionnaires were distributed through surrounding schools' digital communication platforms. The questionnaires were targeted at learners who were given an opportunity to suggest projects for educational advancement. All right. Looking at that, here you choose what kind of procedures that you want. You notice that here we have I don't know what's this. It's a consultation. Yeah, I think this one is a consultation. 2.1 is a consultation. Number 2 is discussions. Number 3 it's a meeting. Number 4 it's a survey questionnaires. Or you can even say it's questionnaires. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm on the findings now. Let's go back. Here we have interview. We have questionnaires. We have on-site inspection, and we have audits. You can even dig on other previous question papers to find out the kind of procedures that were used, so that you use them on your assignment. Do I even have to say something about this? I don't think I need to comment on this. Okay, I'll just give you this. An interview was held with Miss K.D. Libudi, the financial project manager of Sports, Arts and Recreation, to discuss the available budget for renovations and previous budget spent or expenses or whatever. You can put it in any way that you feel like, you guys. Then you can even say questionnaires were distributed to community members to detect the public's interest or on the improvements that could be made on the community hall. You can even talk about on-site inspections, where you guys went there with the construction manager or the architect or to what's this, or the draftsman to see I don't know, yeah, maybe we can say that, to see on to see the previous design, the previous design or the plan of the community hall, and see how they can make improvements on that. And also the construction manager is going to be able to give you quotations on that and see what you need to buy, what needs to be, like, they're just going to detect everything. They're just going to check everything that needs to be, okay, let me put it this way. The construction manager is going there to examine or to assess the damage suffered, so that they can be able to know what kind of repairs are actually required there. You see, you can talk about discussions when you guys have meetings and you discuss the budget. And I saw on Google, let me check that. I saw on Google where they actually answered this, but it's not the actual way that we need to follow, but they just gave a light, if I can say, put it that way. They say, according to the report on the feasibility of repairing the community hall, the following activities are needed to perform as the procedures: determining the damaged and requiring areas, listing the required sources and equipment, budget creation and approval from higher management, procurement and installation of resources in community hall, inspection of community hall. You cannot write it this way. This is the wrong way of writing it. Just check it on Google. I found it on Google myself. You do not use that way. Use this way that you're seeing on your screen right now. This is where you're going to accumulate a lot of marks, and this is where you're going to get a distinction on your portfolio examination. Everything must be just like this, the way you're seeing it now. Thank you. Unless they change on the tutorial letter 202, 201, I think it's 202, that they're going to send to us. Apart from that, if there are no changes, we'll stick to this way. The third one, it's findings. All right, let's check our findings here. You were expected to record your findings in close alignment with the previous section. Procedures. Many of you wrote findings that were either fragmented or insubstantial or irrelevant. Credit was given to those students who showed evidence of integration specific findings with the aforementioned procedures. For example, using percentages to reflect responses to the questionnaire, or the use of tables or graphs to reflect statistics gleaned from the site inspection or audit of records. Okay, let's go to our PowerPoint. Findings. This is the information you discovered. The important thing is that you have to state facts and not your opinions and interpretation. The trick here is to think of your senses. What did you hear? What did you see? All right. Let's look at the example. Remember that your numbering must correspond. The findings are supposed to correspond with the procedures. If in your procedures your 2.1 is interviews or interview, the procedure, the findings 3.1 is supposed to be interviews. If number 2 on the procedures is on-site inspection, number 3.2 on your findings is also supposed to be on-site inspection. Just like that. You do not write it randomly. You're going to get a 0 for that one. You're going to be penalized. So they say here, and remember that everything all the time it's supposed to be on the past tense. Yes, that's what I want to say. Okay. 3.1 interview. The interview with Mr. Ntuli revealed the following. Even if you don't write this, it's not actually necessary, but then if you feel like you can do it, yeah, you can do it. I would do it. I would write this, but it's up to you actually. Then you start stating your your facts there by the interview, what was revealed in the interview. You can write as many points as you want. You can write 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. The main point here is to make sure that you provide all the information that you can think of, because you need to make sure that you have 2 to 3 pages, but you cannot go above 3 pages, below 3 pages, or just 3 pages. You cannot exceed 3 pages. All right. So what I want to explain here is when you have included questionnaires in your procedures, you need to make sure that everything that you write is in percentage. You see here, they say 80% of the employees complained about having to work overtime to compensate for loss of production due to staff being injured at work or to machinery that was faulty. You see, everything is just in percentage. So you must make sure that everything that you write yourself is in percentage as well. When you write about on-site inspection or about observations, when you have included observations or on-site inspections on your procedures, you need to make sure that you provide the date, and the date must be similar on the date which you provided on your procedures. You provide the dates as you can see here, from the 19th to the 27th. You see, so you just do it this way, then you start doing your work. Can you say the numbering, guys? Be careful. You need to be careful. You need this. Remember that we have the adjustment rule, 40-60%. It's so easy to fail right now. Things are not so simple by UNISA anymore. Now we're not having a walk in the park. Everything is just so difficult for everyone. So you need to make sure that you give it all. All right. Here we have the findings here. The head of special educational programs confirmed that they had completed all the planned projects for 2019. Here you are giving the, I don't know, maybe the feedback of actually what you found. Now you are giving everything in details. You see, the union leaders expressed dismay on the planning of the educational advancement project. Then you continue. At the meeting with the school governing bodies, the parents agreed that the money should be used to empower our teachers. The survey questionnaires revealed that 90%, you see, the percentage that I was talking about, make sure that you include, just when you have included questionnaires in your procedures, make sure that there's a percentage of some sort there. Okay, yeah, you see, yeah, we have everything. Yeah, it's not a complicated one. It's just that you are going to be overwhelmed and panic because the time is not on your side, but then it's actually a very simple one. Then you get to the conclusions. Let's see what we have here. Number 4, that's number 4, ne? Okay. Oh. Okay. All right, conclusions. This is where you interpret your findings and present the current state of affairs. What do the findings tell you about the situation that you are investigating? Because conclusions are a synthesis of the findings, they need not be matched number for number. With the findings, apply your mind here, assess the situation. Conclusions are what is deducted from the situation. Managers are concerned about absenteeism. There are insufficient funds for the renovations. Let's look at our meme. You see that they're very small, and you do not have to worry about matching the numbering. It doesn't have to correspond with the procedures and the findings. You just write anyhow. You apply your mind as they mentioned. From the above findings, the following conclusions were made. 4.1.1. The major contributory factors to the non-compliance of health and safety practices by both staff and management were inadequate supervision and the lack of knowledge of safe practices. You guys, the only thing that you need to do here is to make sure that you combine. I don't know, what are you supposed to combine? You provide, you just create this whole scenario in your head, then you start bringing out, writing down your thoughts about this whole thing. You can even search on the internet what conclusions can you make about renovations or about a hall or whatever. You're going to find something. Just read about renovations. You're going to find something. Most of the stuff that I found was about most of the important most of the stuff that I found on the internet really helped me to understand what am I actually to include here, and the language that is supposed to be used here, you see. So just to make sure that you just go through everything, and their recommendations. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I did not read here, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm tired, you guys. Conclusions involve analyzing your specific factual findings. Conclusions involve analyzing your specific factual findings into a logical summary. A few useful phrases used in this section include: the major health and risk was or most of the complaints were unfounded, except. So those are the kind of words that you're supposed to use there. Then when we get to the recommendations, the conclusions should lead to logical, relevant recommendations for the investigation. Make use of verbs such as should, suggest, and propose instead of must, will, and would. I really made a mix up here. You're just going to pause and read for yourself. Yeah, just do that, hey? Then you get to the recommendations. This is where you provide guidance to the reader. Remember that you were sent to conduct an investigation, so decisions could be made. What should the readers do with the investigation? The recommendations need not be matched number for number with previous sections. Always use should because you are recommending. Recommendations, suggestions, actions that should be taken or implemented. Use should and not can, will, to, may. I'm sure you're reading. You can see. Oh, guys, I'm not fine. Okay. Yeah, just going to read through there. Did I check there? Okay, I did not. Let's go there. Make sure that you continue with your numbering. Number 5, recommendations. It is recommended that an agent intervention training program should be structured to ensure compliance with the health and safety policy. This should include emergency drill practices for both staff and management. You guys, I am seeing answers right here. If you can't see answers well, I don't know. Just take points here. So, This is the last part where you provide the compiler's details. Simple, just like that, and you're done. You're 100% and you're sorted, just like that. So it's simple. Compiler's details and date of submission, your name, designation, signature, and date of submission. You see, just like this, just like this. So that's all, you guys, and make sure that you use your workbook and your study guide to write this, and you're going to be fine.